What's up, guys? Army-Firedawg is back again, and today I actually have the review time of the KingYou KM01. This is the model that they actually sent me, free of charge in exchange for a free review, and of course I'm going to make one anyway. I've been listening to it for about a week or so, so it's now time for me to give my thoughts to these. And again, they go for about 15 bucks, so I didn't have too high of expectations, but then again, my ears have been kind of spoiled with the gear I've been listening to. So these go for, again, $15 off of Amazon. You can find them, of course, I'll leave a link to them in the description box down below. So these will make a very good gift for if you just want to give someone like a cheap pair they can wear around, you're not too worried about them breaking or something like that. These actually suit that need very well because, again, they're 15 bucks. But they are actually quite durable, which goes into, well, the topic I like to discuss first, which is its durability. So it says it's the black metal earbuds on the Amazon page that I will link, and that's what they sell off of. But the only metal a part of this is, as I said in the unboxing, that piece right there. The rest of it is plastic. Now, an issue I found is when I went to switch the standard silicone tips it came with to my Comply memory foam tips that Comply was courteous enough to send me way back when. Again, thank you, my friends. I do appreciate that. The piece right here, the actual horn, it actually came off. So I was like, well, shoot. So luckily, I was able to get that back on, no problem. It just snapped right back into place, so no harm, no foul. Well, of course, it did come off, but again, they are relatively inexpensive. So moving on down from the actual horn itself, we have the microphone. This is a single button mic. Now, unfortunately, it does work. It is a microphone. However, it's not the best quality in the world. When I was talking to my wife and I was on shift, my voice didn't come through too awful cleanly. I sounded pretty distant, as in I had to repeat myself and talk a bit louder than what I normally would. So it does offer a microphone, which honestly, at this price is quite impressive. Usually you don't get to the microphones till you're about the $30-ish price range. So for it to be literally half that price and offer one, that is still a good feature to have. So the overall cable itself is not bad. It doesn't say tangle free, and in all honesty, it probably will tangle up on you like if you wad it up in your pocket. But me personally, I didn't have any issues with tangling. It was just a very straightforward, I just bound it up in my hands, put it in my pocket, and off I went. It does come with a case, as I showed in the unboxing, right here, that I would strongly recommend you put it in. Again, and also, this coming for 15 bucks, that is very impressive. It really is. Especially considering I just reviewed a $400 pair of headphones that gave you nothing. So, like, a case goes a long way, my friends. At least to me. So, getting back on the cable it has interesting microphonics, as in I don't know if it goes with the microphone. However, like when I'm listening to music and it kind of does this, I usually hear like your standard microphonics, but it actually comes through as static on the earbuds. I thought I just had a bad driver, but when I held the cable like onto me, so that way it wouldn't brush against anything, the static stopped. So it's microphonic, but it interferes, again, I think it interferes with the microphone, and then it comes through the actual earphones themselves. So, for those of you wanting to work out, if you want complete silence, or, again, I'm talking to my audio enthusiast crowd, for the said audio enthusiasts, you're going to hear some static with this. You'll know that's not there. Now, for those of you who are just wanting an inexpensive pair, wanting to kind of shop around for a product, not worry about spending too much money, but just, a pair to work out with, these actually do really good. Like, they stay in your ears for running, or in my case, mowing the lawn. They do stay in your ears very well. Again, to disclaim, I was using the Comply memory foam tips. If I have the option, I will always choose Comply, whether it be out of my own pocket or supplied by them. Silicone just doesn't work for me personally. So, I recommend the memory foam, but your experience may vary if you are using the silicone. So now moving down to the comfort of it, the comfort, it's not too bad. I will say, and I think it might just be my ear canal shape, but because it only involved my left ear, but right here, which honestly there is, the plastic does kind of put in right there, it kind of, it didn't scratch it, but it just kept putting a focal point, which would make sense because that is a sharp angle right, if I can get on my camera, right here, the main tip here. So it made a pressure point right there on my ear, and I kept having to wiggle that around to change it up some. Again, it only affected my left ear, but that was a part of the comfort that, honestly, that was the only drawback of comfort that I can recollect. Other than that, I mean, for 15 bucks, I really don't have anything negative to say. Now, going down to the sound quality. So, the sound of them, and right up front, these are some very dark earphones. As in, they are some bass-heavy sons of guns. So, when you first put them in, and the song I love using, and I used that as my last video, and you've heard it mentioned many times, but it's When the Beat Drops AMV. It's on YouTube. But it's very, very bassy, and it's that particular mix. Another song I've enjoyed listening to kind of ties more or less the mids into it, but is Human by Bag and Bones Man. But it's a mid-focus song, but it has a strong punch bass to it. That song really showed, because I listened to it on my title, so it's a well-mastered version. It shows that these bloat out the bass exponentially. Like all the tight drums you hit, it just sounds bloated outwards. Also, it decays very, very slow, so the bass draw, it's a continual bass response the entire time you're listening to it. And then also with that, so for those of you who like the heavy bass, you're going to enjoy that. Now, there is a negative to the bass, is it does have some distortion to it. When the bass gets particularly heavy, it'll start crackling, and you really got to be listening to it to hear it, but it'll start giving a little bit of crackles at the lower frequencies, so it kind of overpowers the drivers that are in here. And I actually completely went on reverse. I always start at the highs and go down, but I guess I'll work with it. So the mids, they are definitely affected by the bass, as in the bass kind of eats up the mids. So the mids are already a little bit recessed, because I think they were going for more of a V-shaped sound, which is the more universally loved sound. But the bass is really emphasizes the lower tonalities, if I'm using the right word. Apologies if I'm not. So for those of you who like Trace Atkins and very low tone, or Johnny Cash, low frequency voices, they are going to get boosted upwards. It's going to sound really low. Female vocals will also sound a good bit low. I was listening to, again, Diva Dance, and just nowhere near piercing in that. Like, it was very, very subdued. As in, her voice, even when she got to her higher peaks, sounded somewhat neutral. So, I mean, obviously it was elevated, but it was definitely affected by the bass. The bass did swallow up a lot of the other frequency responses. Now, the treble, as you can probably assume, is definitely withdrawn. It is a bit low, so if you like the pianos and violins, I mean, you can listen to them. They have Lindsey Sterling's still fun to listen to on the KM01s, but you're not going to get the high notes. It rolls off really, really quickly. But that about does it for the treble. There's really not much to it that I haven't already stated in the other frequency responses. It's not a really in-depth earphone. Again, it's only 15 bucks, so it's relatively a straightforward earphone. My overall thoughts on it is that, in all honesty, I did not give it much credit when I first got it. I thought it was just going to play. It's going to sound, it's going to sound like $15 earphones. However, and I will give due respect, it is actually quite impressive to be only $15. To give you a carrying case, a cleaning cloth, the box, meh, but at least a carrying case, to me, that means a lot. The construction of it it's pretty nice. It's a solid build construction, and they even look nice for only $15. Traditionally, when I say $15, it's very, there is nothing nice about that product at all. It is very cheap plastic. They're usually the ear pod style, because that's the even cheaper model to make. It's really disappointing, but, they're meant to be throwaway pairs, so whatever have you be with that regard. These, at least they did put some good craftsmanship into it. The sound quality, again, it's not the best in the world. but for its price of 15 bucks, it is actually quite up there. And I will say in the lower price market, these will actually compete with a personal favorite brand of mine, the Edifiers. I've listened to a few of theirs, and for their price, they're actually very nice, as I've said in my reviews. Now, this is the only product I have heard from KingYou, and again, they sent it to me. But I really am I think this, for those of you who are looking for a very inexpensive pair, whether it be for a gift to give somebody, a cheap pair for yourselves that you're not afraid to use, I would say, and you like a very dark sounding or bass heavy sound, you will really enjoy these. I would say these are very nice, very nicely done earphones. But guys, that is actually it for my review of the KingYou KM01s. If you have any questions or think there's anything I may have missed, something you would like me to clarify on, please hit me up in the comments down below. I will very happily reply to each and every one of you. But, as always guys, my name is Army-Firedawg. It has truly been a pleasure, but most importantly, and please I ask my friends, stay safe.